if you're 6'4", 6'5", in high school right now playing big man, it's a totally wrong position for you. You're not going to be playing that in college. You're going to be playing guard, playing 1, 2, possibly 3. Not the 4 or 5 at that height. What's up, guys? Innovate Trainer here, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about different player archetypes in high school. When I say archetypes, it kind of mixed some of y'all guys' brains up about, is he talking about a game, talking about 2K? No, I'm talking about like actual real life archetypes. I am going to be skimming through positions 1 through 5 in high school and telling you guys exactly what kind of archetype that is. So to start off with the 1 or the point guard in high school, they usually end up 2 ways of play styles. They're either the facilitating point guard that really runs the plays for coach and really is a coach out there on the floor, or they should be one of those elite point guards that just score at will. Now, in terms of playing this at elite level of college, is a valid type of play style. When you transition from high school to college, it's a more fast-paced and it's a more aggressive type of games. College coaches are going to look for high school players that play like that facilitate, that run the floor, know how to run set plays, also know how to score at will when they need to. You're playing the 1 right now in high school and you're those 2 types of play styles, that's good. That's real valid. Now going on to the 2 or the shooting guard position in high school. This is usually the same thing, kind of contrasting with the first one I was saying. Really also facilitate sometimes because they take the role out of point guard. Sometimes they swap out, but mostly they're either catch and shoot players or shoot out the dribble players, and they can create a massive amount of space. Now, playing this in the terms of a higher elite level in college, like D1, D3, doesn't matter. They're in there. They're valid. That's a valid type of play style to play. Most college coaches are looking for shooting guards or players that can shoot at the guard level at an efficient level. Mostly it's like 40% from the 3-point line. And not only that, they're looking for players that can create their own shots and they can incorporate in their sets and plays that they want to run for them to get open, to get more shots. Before I start talking about the players 3 through 4, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also comment down below what position you play right now in high school, or if you're playing in college, what position do you play? All right, guys, so moving on to position 3, the small forward in high school. This is where it gets real tricky because most of the time you have gifted talents. You have gifted talents at the 1 and 2 also that are about like 6'5", 6'3", 6'4", at that elite level already in height. So most of the time the 3 usually does what the 1 and 2 does, but as their own little section 2 as a 3. So basically they can shoot out the dribble, they can create shots for themselves, they can facilitate if they want to. They have to have a handle because they play the 3. So sometimes they can bring the ball up when they need to press breaks. So the 3 is a very solid position to play head on to an elite level, D1 level. As you can see, I have no beef with the positions 1 through 3. 4 and 5, especially 5, is where I have the beef with most coaches. And you're going to see why. So heading on to position 4, power forward. Either they're at the level where they're tall, they're like 6'6", 6'5", 6'7". I mean, if you really get to like 6'8", 6'9", but I'm talking about like at a regular high school, you know, not that many like people that's like super tall. I mean, you got like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", stuff like that. And what the power forward does, some are skilled in the levels of 1 through 3, but it's just the way the coach involves them in play sometimes. Like sometimes they'll put the 4 and 5, especially we're talking about the 4 right now. They'll put them in inside too much. They're limiting their skill level where it need to be. But let's say in terms of going to like elite, playing like college level, if you know how to box out, if you know how to get rebounds, fight for the ball, play good defense against the top big man, and just find ways to stop them and outboard them as well as score, then you're golden. You're good for a college system. The only thing I really would contradict to that is if you're tall enough to play power forward at that level. Because if you're 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", playing power forward in high school, you're not going to play power forward in high school. You're going to play a guard position. I mean, not in high school. You're going to play guard position in college. That's where guards at, 1 through 3. This is where I think you should build your bag a little bit. Of course, you should be able to rebound, play defense, play on top big man defenders, find out ways to stop inside as well as outside perimeter. Have a handle, have a shot, have a way to create space for yourself. Most of the time, if you're that height playing in college, you're gonna play both in and out. You're gonna have opportunities to shoot threes or shoot mid-ranges, and also you're gonna have opportunities to bring the ball up, because sometimes you just have to bring the ball up for a certain amount of time. All right, guys, so number 5, the center position for high school players. I think this is where coaches go wrong with the positioning. Now, I do get that sometimes high school players are not that tall enough to play. Like, you're not going to have that person that's about like 6'10", 7, 8 all the time. So you have to put whoever you got that can rebound to play like the big man position at the 5. I get that. I understand that completely. So, for example, when I played high school basketball, in JV sophomore year, I played at the 5. The 5. I'm 5'11" now, so I was probably like 5'10", maybe 5'11", maybe like 5'10" and some quarters. So I had to really build skills, which also helped. Build skills, learn how to rebound, learn how to play big man. Then again, this is where you can kind of get the golden ticket as a big man as playing the 5 in high school, because if you play the 5 in high school, okay, you need to know the positions from 1, 2, 3, and 4, because you need to have a handle. You need to be able to rebound, play the best defender, pass, shoot, score at will, facilitate some. Because sometimes if you're a 6'4", 6'5", or you're like a 5-foot center in high school, you're going to be playing at the guard position. Most definitely at college, you're not going to play big man. So with the years of playing big man, I'm not saying to fuss at your coach about the position you're playing. I'm just saying you can learn a lot more, especially the 4 and 5, about post work and how big man actually operate. Because if you're playing in high school big man, you're doing your things as big man. You go to college, you can really incorporate some of that stuff. Like, okay, I know I play this position, so when he go here, he can go to the block, tell him to come up for the elbow, for a little post shimmy, whatever. You know what's going on. So I would say that will give you insight. The coach will give you insight to the big man realm as playing like a guard. You're going to play guard, you know the inside and out perfectly well. So in summary, I'm not saying I have a major beef against coaches. I get sometimes you don't have that lucky golden player that's 6'10", 6'11". Like, I don't know. Sometimes you don't get that in your high school. But I'm also saying that high school players should learn 1 through 5, the position 1 through 5. Okay, if you're a point guard, you should be knowing big man stuff, so you can get in and out perspective. Same goes as big man. Big man should know the perimeter, so they can get big man perimeter perspective, because that's helping them gain knowledge and gain wisdom and IQ, most definitely. So when they play at a collegiate level, they're going to know what they're doing. All right, guys, it's been the video. I hope it was a good one. If it was a good one, make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, welcome to the family, the Innovate family. Also, leave me down some comments on other content ideas or suggestions that you may have for yourself, or questions that you need answered. And that's it for now. Let's innovate together.